right, good afternoon and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Lee Doubleday and I'm with the Imagine America Foundation. I'm excited about today's topic, education and training opportunities for 2021 high school seniors, sponsored by Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical College. Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical Colleges have 6 campuses in 3 states. They're located in Illinois, Mississippi, and Missouri, and are accredited by the Accrediting Commission of Career Schools and Colleges, or ACCSC. Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical Colleges are also a new partner of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, which we're excited to let you know that your students can now apply for our scholarship to attend these institutions that we're going to be talking about today. Without taking valuable time from our presenter, let me refer any and all inquiries about the Imagine America Foundation, our scholarship and award programs, to our website, which is www.imagine-america.org. Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified technicians, and we hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country desperately looking for qualified employees. So we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation is Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical College. And joining us today to discuss in detail the looming technician shortage and how these institutions are helping meet this need is Trish Haworth. Trish is the Vice President of Marketing Enrollment and have been working with high schools for many years now. But before turning the program over to Trish, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with questions and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, I will then present any questions offered by the participants, and we'll address as many questions as possible and provide written responses to any of those that we do not get to. We will have a hard close at 2:30 p.m. So without taking any more valuable time from today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Trish. Trish, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Lee. Well, welcome everyone. Hopefully you're having a great afternoon. So what we're going to talk about this afternoon is we're going to share a little bit about Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical College. We'll talk through a little bit of our history, some of the programs that we offer. We'll share some statistics with you about key metrics that are important to us, as well as how we look to partner with the guidance counselors and different staff out in the high schools this year. So let me get started. So the history for us, and I apologize, it likes to go off screen for me at start. So a little bit about our history. Our school was actually founded in 1995 by 2 welders, Brian Huff and Mike Casper, and they had to go away to go to welding school. And they looked around Central Illinois and said, you know, it's a shame that there's really not anywhere around here where we can learn to do commercial pipe welding training. So they decided to open their own school. And they did that. And then 4 years later, they received their first accreditation through the ACCSC. And some of the standards that we're held to with the ACCSC, one of the most important one is that we place more than 70% of our graduates in their field of study. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of those metrics as the presentation goes on. So additionally, in 2000, we added our second program, and we introduced the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, along with major small appliances and refrigeration, or the HVAC program. And that started at the Lincoln facility there in Central Illinois. Then in 2003, Midwest Technical Institute introduced allied health programs. And so they started to add into medical assisting, dental assisting, medical coding, massage therapy, and basic nursing assistance. So as we continue to kind of go through the timeline, we added Delta Technical College as part of our brand as a sister company. That was in South Haven, Mississippi when it first launched. And that's a suburb of Memphis, Tennessee, for those of you who are not sure where South Haven, Mississippi is. And the school was named Delta Technical College. So as we kind of go through the timeline of history, we continue to add into the number of campuses that Delta Technical College and Midwest Technical Institute started to have. So we expanded into Mississippi, as well as we added a campus into Missouri. So there you can see on the timeline through the course of 2009 through 2013, we added our East Peoria location, Moline, Illinois, Ridgeland, Mississippi, and then in January of 2013, we actually had launched our Springfield, Missouri location. So most recently in 2019, we actually built a new building for our Delta Technical College location in Horn Lake, Mississippi, which is right outside of that Memphis, Tennessee suburb. And it is a 50,000 square foot facility. We're very proud of it. It's beautiful. And we're very happy that we were able to continue to expand and needed to build a new building. So who are we? Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical College is changing lives through workforce training by utilizing the high standards of our programs that we're built on to ensure the students who are serious about learning a trade will have a legitimate chance to reach their career goals. Our mission is to provide the workforce training to folks so that they can gain entry-level jobs within the industry that they're of their choice. And so this is really who we are at a core. Brian Huff, who was one of our co-founders, talks a lot about it's not just about training students, it's about placing them. And job placement is a big part of what we do. And you're going to hear me talk about job placement and expand on it more and more. We'll add some statistics so you can see exactly how we, not only the ACCSC measures us, but how we measure ourselves. How it's part of our support model and really what we're looking for and how we support students to achieve that job placement, which is ultimately that career in the chosen field. So here are some statistics that I wanted to share with you. Now, these statistics are for Illinois. We obviously have the same statistics for Missouri and Mississippi. We didn't want to overwhelm you today with a lot of graphs and numbers, so we chose Illinois. If you're interested in hearing or seeing the statistics for the other two states, simply just let us know and we'll be more than happy to provide the same information or more about the two states, Missouri and Mississippi. So everything you're about to hear is going to be specific to Illinois. So our average job placement for the MTI Illinois campuses is over 75%. 22 out of the 26 programs had a placement rate of 70% or higher. The slide actually says 3 programs, but that's an error. It's 5, which you'll see on the next slide, had a placement rate of 80% or higher. So that 70% is the ACC standard, but we actually hold ourselves accountable internally to an 85% or higher standard. And that's what we try to achieve for because it is that important to what we do. So if you take that percentage and you want to know how many graduates does that really translate to? So in 2020, because all of these numbers are from our 2020 annual report that we provided to the ACCSC, and these numbers can be found on our website as well. That translates to 795 graduates that we placed out into their field of study within that time frame or that year. So here's a little bit more about those 5 programs that I mentioned that we're very proud of, that we have an 85% or higher job placement rate in that 2020 annual report. So the basic nursing assistant at our East Peoria campus was at 89%. The journeyman welder program at Moline was at 88%. Basic nursing assistant in Springfield at 87%. Our dental assisting program in East Peoria was at 86%. And our phlebotomy program in Springfield, Illinois was at 86 as well. So those are some numbers that we were really excited to share. We're proud of them, and that's something we're always striving for internally, is to be above that 85%, even though for our accreditation and our accreditor, 70% is the benchmark. So let's talk a little bit more about who we are and what sets us apart at Midwest Technical Institute and Delta Technical College. We really do have relevant curriculum. We have no general education classes. All of the curriculum is designed to be about the program as well as the hands-on labs portions of the curriculum. Our programs are shorter. Most can be completed within a year. All of our instructors have real world experience. They have to actually be out in the industry working for over 3 years before they can come and be an instructor with us. Our hands-on labs simulate a real working world environment, and we feel that's very important to prepare our students and graduates for being successful in the workplace. We're nationally accredited by the ACCSC, which I've already mentioned, and we're also a military-friendly school. So job placement, I've mentioned that already, but one of the things that sets us apart is we have lifetime job placement. So if you're a graduate from one of our campuses, you can come back time and time again to brush up on skills and ask for assistance with job placement. We also meet with local employers to enhance our curriculum and programs, and these are called the Program Advisory Committees, or PAC. And this is a way that we ensure that we're always meeting the demand and what is needed in the industry so that our curriculum is designed around that so that our graduates are ready for the workforce and can contribute as soon as they are in it. Another thing that sets us apart is this idea of an individualized approach or a one-on-one support. And so this wheel represents how we achieve that throughout the life cycle of a student. And it starts right at the beginning from admissions or enrollment all the way through graduation. So with the high schools, we have our high school recruiters. You know, not only are they willing to partner with you guys as well as the rest of your faculty and staff, which we'll talk about in a second, but from a support standpoint for our students and potential students, they really help those students visualize their future all the way through graduation and ultimately into employment. What is it they're looking to achieve? What exactly is their path? And they do this by using a track your success exercise. And this is a one-on-one meeting where that really takes place. We even involve parents if they're high school seniors. They go on a campus tour and there's a consultation with financial aid, which I'll talk about in a second. We achieve this in person on our campus. We also can do it virtually, and that's something that's important given the circumstances of what's going on today. During financial aid, you know, a lot of institutions have moved away from having that financial aid person on site and moved towards a centralized financial aid support mechanism. We still believe that having that one-on-one support is important because the financial aid process is daunting. That is the confusing piece of how am I going to pay for my education and what exactly is the federal process of applying for financial aid. So our financial aid representatives do have a one-on-one approach. They help students apply through the FAFSA, as well as once the FAFSA comes in, they help the students and their parents understand what funding options they may have qualified for. And then they will even talk with them about the scholarship opportunities, whether that's internal scholarships to MTI and DTC or external scholarships that they may be opportunities for them. And this is done in person or virtually as well. Once students are in school, we have student success specialists who work to support students throughout their time in the classroom and in our labs to ensure that they're successful. They do that by tailoring some of the support needs to each student. That could be tutoring if a student needs tutoring. It could be test taking strategies or even life skills workshops. We also provide resources like childcare, transportation or housing, or even part-time jobs. So our student success specialists are really there to support the student while they're in the classroom and on campus. And finally, we're back to that job placement assistance. That keeps coming up because it is something that is so important. You get the training, you know what you need to do, and now you want to go out and have a career. So the job placement assistant, we have a team that identifies what those students' strengths are and helps to match them with the different opportunities out there. Qualified graduates have access to lifetime job placement, which I mentioned. And then sometimes in the welding industry, there are actually tests. When you go to a job site, or whether it's maybe food grade welding or different things, they have welding tests that the applicants have to take. And so our job placement coordinators and business development folks will actually work with those students and graduates to help prepare them for those tests. So those are the types of things that we do to help our graduates be successful and ultimately find their career in their path. So here's a little bit more just to put in perspective, kind of the comparisons about a graduate of a trade school, which is Midwest Technical Institute or Delta Technical College, typically graduates with around $9,400 worth of student loan debt. If a student goes to a public school, which is the traditional path, a four-year institution, they typically graduate with about $25,000 worth of student loan debt. If they were to go to a for-profit college, a four-year institution, they would typically graduate with almost $40,000 worth of student loan debt. So not only are our programs shorter, we have more hands-on, but they graduate with less debt. So the track for those students, it is very attractive sometimes about the trade school and that path after high school. So what do? We offer programs in some of the following industries. We have the mechanical trades, which is welding and that HVAC that I talked about in our history. We have allied health, which is the medical assisting, dental assisting, medical coding, phlebotomy, basic nursing assisting, and massage therapy. We also have cosmetology and the CDL and professional truck driving programs. So these are, not only are these programs in demand, some of them are essential. As we found out during the pandemic, essential roles are key, and so we're very proud to have some of these programs. They're not offered at all of our campuses. We have the core four that are offered across all 6 of our campuses, but there are variations. And then we certainly encourage you to go to our website or talk with our high school recruiters to learn which programs are at the campus closest to you. The way that we look at, we have the right programs at our campuses, is we take a look at what's the demand. So this chart actually shows you what the demand is in growth from now until 2029. And this is all from the Department of Bureau of Labor. And this is just for Illinois, but we have these statistics for Missouri and Mississippi as well. So we take a look at the national growth, we take a look at the growth in the state. And so here you can just see that we have growth that we're showing for the different programs that we offer. Here is the last couple programs. Of course, I'm sure this data was pulled prior to when the pandemic was starting. So I bet if we took a look at it now, the data from the Bureau would probably be a little higher for some of those healthcare and CDL and truck driving programs. But we're constantly taking a look at this. This is how we ensure that we have the programs that really do have that demand out there and that we're in the right places. This is also how we look at where new programs may need to come into play. So how are we going to partner with our high schools out there? So our high school representatives, they can provide additional support to you as counselors, graduation coaches, and even social workers. We have the resources to help seniors understand what options are available to them and what does their path look like after high school. This year is probably unique because we have some extra challenges. A lot of you are remote or in hybrid models. And so this year, those extra resources probably would come in pretty handy. We have learning style quizzes. We have different career exploration. We talk with them about how do they find a career? What are the things and how do you go through that process? And then what's the right path? We're committed to partnering with all of the faculty and administrators in the local high schools to improve graduation rates as well as persistence. And we have different events and different techniques and one-on-one support that we think will help do that, because we know that if we can do that while they're in their senior year, that ultimately they're looking forward to that path after high school. We do that through hands-on events, and these hands-on events allow the seniors to actually experience some of the hands-on features of different careers. So it's a career exploration event, but it also gets them engaged and keeps them engaged with their different scholarship opportunities. And I'm going to talk more in depth about the events here in a minute. So MTI and DTC has awarded over $5.2 million worth of scholarships through our various programs. And it's something that we're very proud of. Our scholarships are geared towards high school seniors that are interested in a trade and a career in that essential field after high school. These opportunities can provide additional support and help engage students throughout their senior year. There is no GPA requirement for our scholarships. They are really geared towards showing and demonstrating the passion and how a trade will change your life and why they want to be in a trade. So if you want to learn more, our high school recruiters can definitely help with that. So let's talk about the hands-on events. So we have several of them, and I'm going to put them up on the screen so you can take a look at them. We have different competitions as well as career nights. So the welding competition is geared towards welders, and it's something that we do every year. And every participant receives a scholarship, and then the top 3 winners actually receive larger scholarships to our school. Not only is this fun because we do it on a Saturday, we have the parents, it's a big event. The parents get to engage, the parents get to watch, they get to do different things as well. It really does have bring out that kind of competitive spirit. It has a lot of prestige now because it's a regional event typically. And so it's a really big thing for people who are interested in welding. Now, this year, we know that we have to make some changes. And so I'll talk about how we're going to accommodate the world of COVID-19 as it comes to different events this year. We also have Live, Breathe, Smile competition, and this is more towards our allied health programs, and it's geared like a science fair project approach. It talks about the effects of smoking on the body. And so the folks that really are looking more towards that healthcare after school path, it gives them an opportunity to come to a competition, hone some of those skills, do something fun. And they also, very similar to the welding competition, receive a participant scholarship as well as the winners. And then we have career nights. And career nights are 3 to 4 different nights where students get to come onto campus along with their parents and do some hands-on. It's a great career exploration event, and it gets students excited. It gets them to helps them understand where do they want to go and something to look forward to when they graduate. So we have a task force that's working on how do we do this and protect our students, our staff in the world of COVID-19. And so these might be a little bit different this year, but we certainly are still having them. It's still something that's exciting and engaging for high school seniors. And so we will find ways to accommodate and still hold them. Community involvement. Community involvement for us is a big deal. We play an active role in the community. We have partnered with organizations like IJAG. We've donated salon services to make prom special for some of the lower income seniors. We even have partnered with Tim Tebow's Charity Foundation with a Night to Shine. We've done coat drives, we've done backpack drives. We really do want to be part of the bigger community and give back. And we also have donations with some of what's going on right now. We know that a lot of the high schools have remote learning. We also know that a lot of the lower income families may not have the money to buy some of the tools that will help their student be successful or senior be successful in a remote learning environment. So we have donations, we have different tools, and little things that could help them just make it a little better or even more successful. Finally, I want to really stress the fact that in this year, we know that this is the most challenging year that you've experienced probably in high school. And we really want to partner with you. We know that sharing our resources will help seniors find that path that's right for them. But we know that also providing that additional support and sharing best practices like how to keep students engaged in a virtual classroom, those career exploration events that I talked about, they will lead to higher persistence and graduation rates. But the most rewarding part for us is when we get to deliver those scholarships to the seniors that never thought they might have an option to go to college. So we are ready and willing and want to partner because we know how challenging this year is. But most of all, there are so many folks today in trades who are retiring, and there are so many jobs out there that are going unfilled. And we know that we have the capacity to train people who can go out and fill those jobs because there's so much potential and so much growth. So with that being said, I thank you all, but I'll open it up for questions.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Trish. I really appreciate you taking the time today. And we do now want to open this up for any other question and answer portion of our presentation. So if you have a question for either myself or Trish, please feel free to hit that Q&A button and ask your question. It does look like we have a question that's come in. This person wants to know if we wanted to talk to one of MTI's local reps, should we go to the MTI website or should we contact yourself directly?
So if they would reach out to us, we will make sure that we pair them up with the high school recruiter for their school.
Awesome. Okay. And then one other question came in. This person wants to know if there is a GPA requirement to enter the school.
There is not a GPA requirement to enter the school. They have to have completed their high school diploma and as well as have a valid driver's license or identification. So those are the requirements for entry.
Okay. And this other person wants to know if you offer housing or any type of housing assistance.
So we do have some housing, a partnership with EduRent, which is a third-party company. And so for those of you who have students who may be relocating to one of our campuses, our high school recruiters do have the ability to connect students with EduRent, who has been a partner for some time. So yes, we don't have housing under our brand or at our campuses, but we do have a third party that we work with to help facilitate that.
Okay, great. One other question, this person wants to know if you have a website or somewhere that they could go to learn more about any upcoming events, or are you holding any virtual events anytime soon?
Sure. So you can always check out our website, midwesttechnicalinstitute.edu or deltatechnicalcollege.com. However, with our events, the way that we approach that is we really like to have an individual invitation extended to the student, because a lot of times we want their parents to also be part of that. So we want to give them that ability to know when it is, talk with their parents, give them all the details. And so we would encourage you to work with one of our high school recruiters, and they can provide you all that data and then work and dates. And then they would work with the students who are interested to get them all the information and get them RSVP'd and signed up.
Awesome. Okay. That's fantastic. Yeah. Just a few house cleaning items for on my side, which is number one, this presentation has been recorded and will be sent out to you via email, likely tomorrow morning. We will also be posting this session to our website. And when I send the email to you tomorrow, I will be sure to include Trish's contact information. So if you do have any questions for Trish, or you'd like to reach out to Trish or schedule some time for one of their representatives to do a presentation to your seniors, feel free to reach out to her via email. But before closing, I just want to thank our participants for taking time out of the busy schedules today. I'd also like to thank Trish for sharing with us today's presentation and encourage each and every one of you to contact her directly. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Midwest Technical Institute, Delta Technical College, I want to thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.